Hi, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about your field of beliefs. This is extremely crucial with manifesting, and some of my coaching clients putting this into practice have received their manifestations instantly when they had been stuck with them, sometimes months and even years. So if you're stuck within a manifestation, if you're imagining to the best of your ability but not seeing the results, if you want to manifest your ultimate dreams and goals but have yet to attain them after following the steps of visualization, imagination, etc., then this is the video for you. And before we begin, I just want to say, if you hit the like button, other people who would not normally be able to see this video will be able to. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon if you want to be notified about very systematic, clear-cut, tested manifestation techniques, tips, and stories. So jumping into it then. Have you ever felt like you've been doing everything that you were supposed to be doing? Have you ever thought that you can get other things and manifest other things and anything at all that you want except for this one thing? Have you ever felt like you're going so intensely at getting what you want that it's exhausting and you're on the verge of either giving up or thinking that maybe this doesn't work? I have been there many times. So many of my coaching clients have been there many times. The people in my program have been there many times. The viewers watching this, I'm sure a lot of you have been there many times. If you have, comment it below after this video. So if you have reached that point, if it has been a long time, if you haven't seen movement regarding your manifestation, then there is one thing that is going to change everything. And I want to break it down for you. I have to explain how manifestation works, and I have to explain what then you have to do to get this to move in your direction. So manifestation works because we impress our subconscious mind. That's the simplest way to put it. Whatever we impress our subconscious mind with will be replicated to the degree to which we've impressed it, meaning however accurately we've impressed it, we will experience it to that accuracy in reality, right? It's literally. So your awareness itself is the creative faculty. The power is within you. There's nothing stopping you except for your own self. And that is an extremely critical aspect to knowing that you are the operant power and that no one can stop you. However, with that said, and because of that, that's the good news and the bad news at the same time, because we can't blame anyone else that our manifestation isn't coming. We can't say that someone else is stopping me through their imagination. We can't say that someone else is imagining it at the same time. We can't say that there's an external force or astrology or tarot cards that are preventing us from getting our end result. We can't even say that it's my physical vibration that's doing it. And the reason being is because our consciousness is the only source of our reality. It is the only reason why we experience in this world the things that we experience. So, but our imaginal acts, which is the first kind of introductory steps into manifestation, which is visualize your end result. Visualize your end result. Imagine yourself as if you already have it. Given that everything is the source, and if we're imagining the thing that we want to experience, but we're not experiencing it, then there's a problem. But the problem isn't without, as I said, the problem is within. So the reality, and this is another aspect of this creation, our reality is, if you want to put it in a type of metaphor, everything that you experience, everyone that you talk to, everything that happens to you, your current state of affairs in your happiness, your relationships, your finances, your physical health, all of those are walking, talking thoughts of you. Meaning your thoughts express themselves, and everyone and everything in the world is showing your thoughts to you, literally, not metaphorically in that aspect. So with that said, if you are not getting the results that you want, then that means that there is something inside of you that is not allowing you to get it. Nothing outside of the world, only inside of you. So, given that there's something inside of us, and given that, actually, let's go over this part, right? So, we talk about the fundamental. We imagine something, it should happen. This is a done deal. This is a fact. If you impress your subconscious mind with the end result, if you imagine before you're falling asleep, if you imagine in first person point of view, if you imagine as if it's already happened after the end, then and think from the scene, and if you fall asleep while doing that, then that means that you have impressed your subconscious mind and it's a done deal, and I have never seen it fail. Unless there is something in your subconscious that is already there, or certain things in your subconscious that smother or suffocate or rub out your imaginal act. So I hope you're following along. What I'm saying is your imagination creates reality. You imagine what you want, it manifests, but only because it impresses your subconscious mind. So if you're not getting your results, then that indicates that there is something within your subconscious mind that is preventing you from getting your reality. And this is where I want you to think next. Everything is our walking, talking thoughts, right? But did you basically tell your neighbor to walk outside the same time you did? Did you deliberately imagine that? Did you imagine the person giving you the attitude at the coffee shop deliberately? Do you remember visualizing that or thinking that in your mind? Do you remember specifically dictating that your relationship was going to go wrong? Right? So if imagination impresses our subconscious mind and then that's reality, then why are some things in our reality that we did not deliberately imagine? And so this is the answer and the solution to everything. Because our belief systems, our assumptions, our snap judgments also impress our subconscious mind. But instead of being a specific, as in with visualization, a specific ending, it impresses generalizations, assumptions, beliefs, ideas. So in other words, when you were younger, right, between the age of when you were born and 7 years old, the subconscious mind is basically just a satellite receiving everything from your external world. It's being molded and shaped by your experience as a young child. And that's just the way that it is. So that means that the blueprint of our experience as we get older is defined specifically by the ages between when you're born and 7 years old. And those beliefs in the same likeness as an imaginal act also exist within your subconscious mind. But instead of one singular imaginal act and doing it for 10 minutes a day before you go to sleep or 20 minutes, whatever you do, these beliefs are manifesting every minute of the day. So what I'm trying to tell you is if you have messed up or contrary belief systems, judgments, assumptions, fears, memories that exist within your mind, and you're imagining one single thing that is contrary to those things, you can imagine it, but it is very likely that your belief systems are going to turn that singular thing back into the contrary negative belief. So a concrete example. There is a person that I know, one of my coaching clients, and she was imagining that her specific person would change a little bit. So not only change in attitudes and actions, but also in their relationship. She wanted him back. She wanted him to not be hot and cold, but to be just hot and to be consistent in the relationship. And so she was visualizing this end result where they were happy together. And what would happen is that person would change into that person who was just hot. And it would stay that way and be consistent for a while, but then ultimately that person would change back into someone who's cold. She could see the fruits of her manifestation because she could see him change almost directly after she would imagine, but then ultimately he would revert back into the person that he was. And so the solution, I told her, is your beliefs are changing him back into a person you don't want, which means you have a belief somewhere that says that people in relationships change, or a general statement that says guys that I'm in relationships with are always hot and cold, or relationships end rather quickly, or men in general are not cool, or relationships aren't meant to last, or there's some either one or combination of beliefs that are existing within you that are combating your imaginal act, right? And so I told her that the prescription was, if I was a doctor, was to jot down all the potential beliefs that you have that might be causing all of this to happen. Now, a telltale sign that you have beliefs in your subconscious is to look at the repetitive nature of your relationships. Look at the repetitive nature, the cycles of your finances, of your personality type, of the people that you interact with, of how people treat you. If you have seen or noticed a cycle of things that are similar in the past and it seems to happen and happen again, then this is a definite 100% sign that you have a belief in you or series of beliefs that are changing your reality in a way that you don't necessarily like. Now, the problem is that when we're children, we do not have the intelligence to judge a situation properly. So something that might be harmless, we might judge with fear or think that no one loves you or something to that effect. And as you get older, you completely forget that experience. It's only within your subconscious mind. I mean, how many memories do you have from when you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., all the way up to 7? So it becomes increasingly difficult to target these beliefs because we can't remember where they came from. We only suffer the consequences. So the solution then is to reverse engineer this current reality that we experience. And it's essentially, as I gave her some examples in the coaching session, which was, you have some belief that is changing these people into people you don't like. Now, you don't remember why, you don't remember how, but you have to formulate beliefs. You have to find the belief systems which would ultimately be causing these problems in your world. And this goes for everything, not just specific people. This goes for every facet of your life. So what you do is you look at what's happening, you look at the cycle, you look at the things you don't like. You look at the manifestations that changed and then changed back. And then you go inside and you think, if there was a belief that was causing this, what would it be? Beliefs are the laws in which this universe operates within. Your universe, your reality. It's statements written on a tablet engraved into your subconscious mind, but each of those engraved statements is actually producing continuously. So you have thousands of them in there. The interesting and easy thing about this is that when you overwrite a belief by writing it down or imagining that you have a belief, you cannot have two beliefs contrary at the same time. And this isn't just a theory. You could test this by writing this down, which is ultimately what I did. I figured this out because of a combination of various different techniques that I utilized. I knew that you can write things down and that they could happen without any feeling, thought, emotion, etc. And I knew that you could change beliefs because I've imagined them before. So the technique is as follows. You identify that state, the reality that you want to change, the aspect of the reality that you want to change. You identify the problem. And then from there you think, what belief, if it's a law of this universe, would be causing this person to do this? And I listed many of them before. People change. Relationships are meant to fail. People change after I'm in a relationship with them. Everyone leaves me. If these are your general beliefs, if one of these resonates with you, and same thing with money. Money always comes to me, but then it goes. Or money is hard to get. Or you must work hard for your money. Or I can never hold on to money. Even if it is true in your world, the only reason it remains that way is because you believe it, you assume it. That doesn't mean that you necessarily have this repetitive thought in your mind of saying, I believe this. But what's actually happening is it's just a fact of the world. And those facts of the world are dangerous because they actually force the world to conform to them. So once you've identified these, the point is eventually is to flip them into a positive, right? So you want to contemplate what the negative is and write them down. But then the ultimate goal is to write down the opposite in the positive tense. So for an example, if the problem was that everyone always leaves me or everyone always changes, instead what I would say is, I wouldn't say no one leaves me. I wouldn't say not everyone leaves me. I would say instead, all of my relationships are long lasting, right? So you come up with a positive alternative, one that doesn't talk about the negative, only the positive. And there's a reason for that. But with money, say money always eludes you. Money always finds its way to me. I always receive an abundant inflow of cash consistently, and on and on and on and on. As you write these down slowly, concisely, but not anything too fancy, not that you're imagining it, not that you're anything like that, just a stream of consciousness, they impress just like that. Now you could take it to the next level by deliberately imagining a conversation with a friend, with them complimenting you on the new belief, with you responding back and then repeating that over and over, or you could read them over and over, these new statements. And what will happen is that automatically, without you having to try, without you having to do affirmations to ram it into your skull, you will impress the subconscious mind in the same way as a visualization, and it will automatically happen without you even trying, and then the whole world will change. With this client, eventually what happened is within a matter of days, their specific person came back, remained that way, and they're still together. But this is not just one person. This has happened to hundreds of people who have sent me their testimonials after we coached, after the workshops, etc. So it'll work in any facet of your life. Anything where you see a pattern, anything where you see a habit that isn't working right. You jot down the beliefs, and then if you couple it with the visualization for the specific thing, then everything together, your mind goes fully towards that one thing, and it's the fastest way you can receive your manifestation. So beliefs and imagining, those are the keys. Whatever you want, you can get them. The whole purpose is to identify what's going wrong, take an inventory, and then correct it. That's the steps, and then visualize your outcome. So do this. If you've been stuck, if you want what you want, you can have it. Just do the process outlined in this video and then watch as it happens. And I want you to comment below if you have never tried this process, because when I ask people in the workshops, 95% of them never have, but this is the missing piece if you have been visualizing to no avail. So comment there, like this video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you.